Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Likely Noor. As I promised in my last video, I'm back today with a set of interview questions where you can use the SBI format to answer it. Although you can use that format to answer any kind of interview questions, but I've just brought few of them for your reference. The people who have not watched my last video, I have put the link on this I button and also on the description below. Please do check them out. So the question number 1 is, tell me about your strength. Isn't it the most commonly asked question? But you know what is the most common answer to this is, I'm a team player. When you say this, you have to give an example to it. So you can frame your response in this way, that once I and my 3 colleagues were working on Saturday for an overtime to come finish off a project as the deadline was approaching, but we encountered an issue that we were not able to proceed ahead as the code was throwing an error. The behavior could be that we did the initial troubleshoot, but yet we were not able to understand what the problem is. So my team suggested that we wait until Monday for supervisor and manager to be back so that they could find the issue and fix it, and we can then proceed ahead. But I thought that since we are running short on timeline, we should not be wasting 2 days of time. Instead, let's try to figure out the things by ourselves. So I try to convince them that let's review the code by ourselves. So as the code is really long, it's very difficult for a single person to check it. So let's do one thing. Let's divide the code into 4 parts, and each one of us start checking one part. And that way we'll be able to divide the work. So fortunately, one of my colleagues was able to find the error and we were able to fix it, and hence we continued with the day and on Monday also. So all these comes under your behavior. The impact was that on Monday, when your supervisor and your manager returned, you were highly appreciated on how you were able to coordinate with the team and how you suggested this issue and how you were able to fix this. And the major impact was that you were able to save 2 days, right? So this is how you frame your answer. If you're a fresher, you can say like this, that in my final year I organized the fest, as it is not possible for a single person to organize such a big event. So what I did was, for each event I made one point of contact who was going to manage the entire event end to end, and I used to pitch in only when they used to encounter any issue. In that way, each event was having one point of contact to take care of it end to end, while I was taking care of it at an overall basis. So all these is the situation and behavior, and impact was that we were able to have a fest which everyone enjoyed, and we did not face any issues during that. So this could be the conclusion of it, and this is how you frame your answer with an example and how you divide your answer in this way. The question number 2 is, tell me about an accomplishment of yours. So this is also a very commonly asked question. So you can draft your answer in this way, that once I was designing a tool for one of my client company, and there was a feature which I wanted it to include in that tool, but the client did not feel that it is necessary to have it, and they were not ready to invest any resources or invest any time in adding that feature. I was highly convinced that feature is really going to help the tool to scale up. So this is the situation. So the behavior part is, I try to convince the client that we should definitely add this feature with my XYZ reason, but yet the client was not convinced. So what I said is that let's do one thing. I will not take any extra resource or the extra time, yet I will add this feature in the beta version of it, and let's roll out the beta version to 100 people, and then let's check the sentiment of those people. If we get a negative sentiment, then I'll remove it, and none of your timelines would be breached. So the client agreed to it, and I was able to build that feature in the beta version. And when we launched this beta version to the 100 people, we got an upvote of 85%, where 85% people said that this feature is really going to be helpful to them. So this is the behavior. And the conclusion was that finally the client was convinced that this feature is going to be helpful, and I was able to add that feature in that tool, and I backed another project from the client. So this is your conclusion on the impact part of it. This is how you draft your answer. If you are a fresher, you could say, that in my final year, when I was making a project, while everyone chose a project which was readily available on the internet and they only had to copy paste it and present it for the external viva, I thought that this is the time when I can brush up my theory skill and implement it on my project. And I chose a project where I worked on it end to end. So this is the situation. So behavior, what did you do to accomplish that? So I first checked with my professor, who was relevant for this topic. I consulted with him and I asked him for a guidance. He suggested me with all the materials, all the books which would help me get this project done. So with his help, I was able to make a project by myself. You need to give the description of the project, what you did, and all this comes in the behavior. And the conclusion was, when I presented this to my external viva, I was able to stand out in front of others who just copy pasted the things from the internet. The person who was taking the external viva knew this, that this is not something which is copy pasted, because this kind of project or this kind of topic was not available on the internet with such details. This is the conclusion, and this is how you draft your answer. Hope you all liked my video. If yes, please do subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section what else I should be picking it up for my next video. Until then, stay tuned and thank you so much for watching me.